Hello again everyone. In today's video we're hitting the road and driving south from Corralejo to the charming little town of La Pared, where we've booked ourselves a cosy little Airbnb apartment for the night. And as you can see from the photos on the Airbnb listing, check them out here, it certainly looks stunning and comes along with some good reviews too. So we stocked up with plenty of water and hit the road heading south along the FV1. The total distance, taking the coastal route as we did from Corralejo to La Pared, is 104 kilometres or 65 miles and takes just over an hour and a half. And to be honest, it's a pleasant enough drive. Right, so we came in here today. This is La Pared, and the Wellenkind Surf School is right in front of us, along with the Veo Rey mini market. And we had a bit of a problem finding our Airbnb today because it was flat 21. We have no clue where that was. We got some pictures from Christian which were helpful, but I did have to give him a call because this place is like it's like in the middle of a desert basically. Beautiful place, but just a bit like out there, you know what I mean. And the cafe that was supposed to be open, that we thought was open, doesn't open until Wednesday, so a bit of a nightmare at the minute. Anyway, we're going to have a little walk up to the place now and take you through. There's a big hotel next door. I'm not sure what that's called. I'll find out and put it up later. But this is the block of flats. So we just come through. It's the main foyer into the flats, and it's pretty dark. Like it's darker than what it looks like on the camera. But our flat is right at the top floor, which is 3rd floor. So it's a bit of a hike. Anyway, I'm not going to record all the stairs because there's another 3 flights yet. We'll see when we get to the top. So this is the final flight. 33 degrees out today. And this is not what you want to be doing in 33 degrees heat. So, I have to get my breath back for a minute. This is the Christian's apartment. So it's quite small, but it's really nicely set out. There's your kitchen area with a hob and oven, dishwasher. Full-size fridge freezer and fridge. Big TV on the wall. The floor looks like it's just been newly concreted. And there's some renovation work that's been done by the look of it. But the like a little extension piece. But it's come dining area, which is really nice, which leads out onto a balcony, top floor, with a sunbed there. It's a bit of a quirky setup. As you come out and then you go back in, that's the bedroom. Beds, 2 single beds pushed together. That's a bit compact, shall we say, for 2 adults. But I'm sure we'll make it work. And then you've got the view over La Pared. I'll let you argue that there's a spectacular view of the ocean. And we've got the view of the hotel below us. Big swimming pool, which I'm quite jealous of at the minute because I'd love to dive into that. But yeah, I'll come and have a quick look in the bathroom, show you the bathroom. As you walk back in through those doors off the veranda, there is a lip, a concrete lip on the floor here. I don't know if you can see it. That's quite dangerous, that, because I've just literally nearly broke my toe on it. That needs to be sorted out before someone gets hurt. But it's quite easy just to stub your toe on that, which I've just done. So just having a quick walk back through again. It's a small kitchen, but it's well set out with storage spaces underneath the worktops. Yep, a little pull out. It's like a shower hose there for rinsing your dishes. As you can see, it is like a polished concrete floor that needs finishing by the look of it. Full length mirror there. Hanging space for your bags and your coat and stuff. And you've got big wardrobe spaces here. Plenty of room for while you're hanging your clothes. Let's go and have a quick look in the bathroom. The baño. Again, newly finished walls, newly finished floor. And everything looks like it's just been refurbished, like everything's brand new. But really nicely done to a high level. Nice modern look to it. There's LED lighting over the mirror, and you've got a little niche sort of alcove there for your shampoos. So you've got a body hose there, and then you've got your rainfall shower head above you. Windows that can open for ventilation. I think that just ventilates into the bedroom, I think. But yeah, overall, really nicely done. It benefits of some tiling and some floor tiling, I think, needs to be finished off. But once it's all done, it's going to look fantastic. It's pretty good now as it is, but yeah, it does look like it needs a little bit of finishing up. Never ceases to amaze me, even though you're in Fuerteventura, which is basically a desert island. Always get people who like growing have their own little gardens. Especially those two little tubs down there. Okay. So I've just come back to have another look at this bedroom, and it's really, really tiny. You're struggling to get through that gap there to get around the side of the bed. Just barely squeeze through. But then when you look at the space you've got here for your feet, for to walk through, where that beam is about 6 inches maybe between the edge of the bed and the beam. And I'm not really sure what size beds they are, but kids' beds, I would say. It's really small. There's no ventilation other than the door that opens behind me. Those doors there don't open. I got some nice white linen curtains that kind of shade the sun a little bit, but that's the only door that opens. It's like a greenhouse. There's no fans, and the only ventilation I'm trying to get airflow through is that's a window that opens into the bathroom, and I've left the bathroom door open, and then this sliding door, which when you come outside you can feel the temperature straight away cooler, but inside there it's like walking into a greenhouse. We're just sort of debating on whether we're going to be able to stay here tonight because of that. So it's pleasant enough when you come out of the flat. It's like the grounds are pleasant enough, but they are like old municipal flats. They're being converted or bought privately and sold, sold and bought privately. Put them up for Airbnb then, which is what the big complaint is about this island. So we're going to go to a little mini market now and see what's available. So we went for a little walk around and discovered that the only cafe bar, which was called Plan B, was closed. And there's a sign on the door stating it was only open on a Wednesday, but it actually looked like it hadn't been open in some months. And we've been there before some years back and it was really nice. However, there is a little roadside safe cafe called Cafe Caveto, which does great pastries, cakes and coffees. And I think it's mainly veggie based on the burgers that we bought, thinking that they were beef. And they were not. So, as it was getting late in the day, things hadn't really gone the way we'd expected. Through no fault of our own, we made the decision not to stay. Driving back towards Puerto del Rosario, heading north. You can just see the airport runway there. As we're travelling back to Corralejo. Okay, as we wrap up our adventure and break down the total costs, sit back and soak in these stunning aerial views of La Pared's wild desert terrain and breathtaking coastline. In the end, three things really piled up and convinced us to bail from the Airbnb. And honestly, they all kind of fed into each other, turning what was a bit of a quirky stay into a bit of a nightmare. First off, the beds were way too small, crammed into this tiny bedroom with barely 6 inches between the mattress and the wall. Add to that the stifling heat with 0 fans in place, would have been just like sleeping in a sauna. And the other issue is we couldn't even crack a door open to allow some airflow because of the relentless pigeon invasion. They'd swoop right in like uninvited guests, and it sounds hilarious now, but trust me, the last thing you want are pigeons flying around in your bedroom before the sun comes up. And what about that little dodgy lip in the floor? What do you think about that? Barely visible during the day. Never mind in the dark when you're trying to find your way to the bathroom, risking a broken neck. Okay, a little bit melodramatic, that I know, but you can imagine tripping over that in the middle of the night and going head first. Not good. Okay, so here comes the interesting bit. We paid £154.73 for 1 day in that Airbnb. Oh, not even a day really, a few hours I guess. So when you compare that to the Corralejo villa in my last video, which cost us around £18.27 a day more, you can appreciate just how expensive that little Airbnb was. So what do you think? Too much? What would you have done in that same situation? So I'd be really interested to read your comments on that one. Or have you stayed there before? And if so, what do you think of it? Let us know in the comments below. Well, all in all, lesson learned. And even though we checked all the photos, read all the positive reviews, you still don't know what you're getting until you get there, which is why I make these videos. Well, thanks for watching guys, and if you like what I do and you want to see more, then let me know in the comments. You can even hit the like button if you like and subscribe if you haven't already. That really means a lot, and I know everyone says this, boring, but it actually does help my channel to grow. Last but not least, a quick shout out to Lee and Sharon from the YouTube channel Our Life in Fuerteventura for their very kind feedback and shameless plug for Tommy's Travels. Thanks so much guys, that really meant a lot. Go check them out and subscribe. Let's get them and me to 1,000 subscribers. That'd really be something else. And I'll see you in the next one.